everyone. Today, we'll try to understand the algorithm and characteristics of two very famous sorting algorithms, merge sort and quick sort. So let's begin. Starting with merge sort. It is a recursive sorting technique and uses the divide and conquer algorithm. The space complexity of this sorting technique is big O of n. The significance of merge sort is that it has the same best case and worst case time complexity, that is big O of n log n. Let's take a look at the algorithm of merge sort. We'll try to first observe how the merge sort function works. For that, let's take a look at this example and this code snippet. The array is stored in X, while bag and end include the index 0th position and the final position, in this case 5th, respectively. Now, since 0 is less than 5, which the if condition is satisfied, here mid is equal to 0 plus 5 by 2, that is 2.5 rounded off to 2. Now, the recursion takes place and the merge sort function is again called, only this time the value of mid 2 is pushed as an end, and thus dividing the array into into the sub-array 6, 5 and 12. This process is continued until all these arrays are of size 1. After this, the merge function is called. Now let's take a look at the merge function. The beauty of this technique is that the smaller sub-arrays are already sorted before getting combined with a larger sub-array. This comes in handy afterwards when we'll see the next example. Take a look at these sub-arrays. The variable big denotes the initial position of the first sub-array, while mid denotes the final position of the sub-array. Variable end denotes the final position of sub-array 2. Here, I is pointing at 1, j points at 6, while index is pointing at the beginning of the temp array. The first while loop runs until one of the sub-arrays is fully exhausted. Now, we check if xi is less than xj. Yes, it is. And therefore, 1 is pushed into the sub-array, into the temp array. Now, and I is incremented. Now we check if phi is less than 6, and therefore phi is pushed into the temp array. Now I is incremented and points at 10. Since 6 is less than 10, it is pushed and j is incremented. This process continues until the second sub-array is fully exhausted. Now, in the next step, we check which one of the sub-array is exhausted. It is the second one, and therefore we jump to the else part and push all the remaining values of sub-array 1 into the temp. As I said earlier, smaller sub-arrays are already sorted before getting merged with a bigger one. Now, in the final step, we just replace the values in original X array with our temp values, and thus completing the sorting technique. That's all from my side. The next sorting technique will be explained by Gaurav.
Now for quick sort, it all like merge sort, it also follows divide and conquer approach. Now in this, divide means that array will be divided into two subparts, but like merge sort, it does not divide in equal halves, but it considers a pivot element, which will be the partitioning criteria, and rearranges the whole array in such a way that all the smaller elements than pivot will be placed on the left of the pivot, and all the elements greater than pivot will be on the right of the pivot. And for conqueror means that these left and right subparts which we get from divide approach, we recursively partitioning them again by considering pivot for each of them. So this detailed explanation of how this works will be in next slide with algorithm. Time complexity for this differs. For best case it's O of n log n, and for worst case it's n square. Now for algorithm, this algorithm is divided into two parts, quicksort and partition. Quicksort does the conqueror part of this approach and partition does the divide part of this approach. First, let's see what quicksort does. Quicksort has three parameters: array, which is the original array, and leftmost index and rightmost index. Now we have to make sure that leftmost index is always less than rightmost index. I will explain later why that is important. Now pivot. Now we call this partition function and give it the same three parameters as we gave to quicksort, and it returns us the pivot. Now pivot is an index which we get after rearranging this array so that all the elements which are lesser than pivot are on the left side and vice versa for right side. So after we get this pivot index, we call quicksort functions 2 times recursively for these two subparts, which is from L to pivot and pivot plus 1 to R. Now let's see what partition function does. Now the real magic happens in partition. For partition 2 we give the original array and we give leftmost index of the subpart and rightmost index of the subpart. And in here we set the pivot element at first as the rightmost index and set I as leftmost index minus 1. Now I keeps tracks of the number of elements or rather it keeps tracks of the index till which the elements less than the pivot are. Now we will next we have variable j which traverses from L to R, which means all the elements except pivot, and for each traverse it checks whether a traverse element is less than pivot or not. If it's greater than pivot then it does nothing as we have no else statement here, but if it's less than pivot, what it does is it increments I, which means that we got the element which is less than pivot, and swaps the element at j with I. For example, if we have j here at 9 and I at this position, and 9 is greater than 3, so nothing will happen and j will increment. Now we have j at minus 3 and I at here. Now minus 3 is less than 3 obviously, so what will happen is I will increment and I will come here and I and j elements will swap. So minus 3 will come here, 9 will come here. Then for next j element we have 5 which is greater, so nothing happens. Then for 2 is less than 3, so I will increment. Now we had I here, so I will increment to this position and I and j elements will swap. Now here we had 9 after swapping the first swap, so 9 and 2 will swap. 2 will come here and 9 will come here. So the array will for these 4 elements will become minus 3, 2, 5 and 9, and this goes on till we reach 1. But till we reach 1, and now we have to place this pivot element in between these two sub arrays which are created. To do that, what we do is swap pivot element with I plus 1. Now I said I keep tracks of the elements which are smaller than the pivot, so I plus 1 will be element which is greater than all the smaller element, which will be the pivot element. So pivot element will come in between these two subparts using this line of code, and we will return this I plus 1 which is the pivot element's index to in quicksort, and the process will go on. Now when we reach a subpart where there is only one element, L will be equal to R, right? So if it reach quicksort, L will be equal to R and this if statement will not be executed, so it will stop there, and in the end we get this array 6 minus 3 1 2 5 6 and 9 8 and 9. So this is how quicksort works. Now let's visualize these two sorts working on smaller arrays and see which one of them sorts faster. Each of this algorithm have 100 milliseconds time gap between swaps. So let's try quicksort for 40 size of array and see how much quickly it does it. So it took only 6 seconds to sort this whole array. Now let's see for merge sort. For merge sort it takes a large amount of time at shorter arrays, like small arrays like a few hundred, you can say 200 to 300 size of arrays, but as you increase the size of array like for thousands and 2000s, then merge sort is quicker. So merge sort is preferred for larger arrays, but Quicksort is preferred for smaller arrays for few hundred of elements in an arrays. So as you can see, merge sort took 21 seconds to sort an array of 40 with 100 millisecond gap in swaps, while quicksort only took 6, which is almost three times faster. So if you want to apply sorting techniques on a smaller scale, you should use quicksort. But if you have large array sizes, or you are using linked list where memory allocation is easy and you can merge arrays easily, then you should use merge sort.